This is just a short overview of Talis Engage, what it is and how it can support the work you are already doing in Talis Aspire. So essentially, at its core, what Engage allows you to do is upload files directly to reading lists so that users are not sort of going out to another place to actually access the material they need. The reason you would want to do that is because Engage then contains some features for social annotation, which you can use as an instructor to gauge your students' understanding of, the things that you've asked them to look at or read. So let's show you how this works. Here is a document which I would like my students to read. It can be uploaded directly to the list, and this button is controlled by a permission, so you would have control over who can actually access this functionality. You will get a pop-up like this, and I'm sure you've seen similar things to this in the past on other systems you use, so we could drag and drop something here, or we can browse our files. There is a link out there to the list of supported file types. You cannot do audio-visual with Talis Engage, but we're pretty confident that pretty much any other file type you might want to upload would be covered. So that includes all Office things, it includes MP3s, it includes PDFs, JPEGs. And so what we're going to do, we are going to choose the file that we would like to upload. In this case, it's a PDF. You can see it doesn't take very long. You have the option to turn on class commenting, so do you want to allow your students to comment on the material here, and also whether you want them to download the original document. And there are scenarios where you might want to tick those or untick them. What I'm going to do now is click on Submit. And you can see the system is telling me this was successful. Please refresh your page to see any changes. If your library has copyright clearance in place, changes might not appear immediately, and we will come on to what that means in a moment. So click on Close, refresh the page. There is now a View Online button here. So this is the file I uploaded, and if I click on that, it takes me into the Engage interface. So as I said, this is a PDF. But what have we got? We have a title from the bookmark. We can search through this easily. There's been a table of contents generated because there were headers in the document that we could make use of. There's a viewer here which allows you to flick through the pages more easily. And there's the option here whether to show this class comments and personal notes pane on the side or not. What the class comments are for is where the teaching and learning comes in. So this is really where you can spark discussion among your class. So how this would work, perhaps we want to highlight some text within the document. You can see it's now prompting me to leave a comment. So, do you think this title is an accurate description of the contents? Or whatever it is you want to say. Click on comment. That now appears next to the document, and that would appear there for all users who access this item. So yeah, the idea is that you begin to build up a bit of a discussion alongside the document. So any member of the class, and obviously I'm logged in as myself now, but any member of the class could now log in, leave a comment there. And so the idea is, over time, you build up a discussion around here so that all of the class can benefit from each other's sort of learning and understanding of the document. You might want to use this as a flipped learning exercise. So maybe you ask them to read whatever it is you've uploaded for the seminar. You then check the discussion that's occurred here before the seminar takes place, and you can use that to inform your teaching during that session. So that's class comments. There are also personal notes over here. So perhaps if I'm a student who is looking at this document, I can see the comments, but I also want to highlight something for my own understanding for checking later. Find out what this acronym means, or whatever I want to say. As it says, it's personal notes. Only I will see these. None of my classmates, not even my lecturer. And there are some other settings at the top here. So this is where a lecturer could turn on and off class commenting, or whether they want to allow users to download the original document. And there's also some navigation options here as well. So at its core, that's what Engage is. Just to show you as well that if you are using Talis Aspire copyright clearance, then you do have the ability to sort of make use of that workflow as well while you are using Engage. So in this instance, I would like to upload a file because I want my class to discuss this. I'm going to choose a random PDF for this particular demo. So what I'm doing is I am uploading a file against that item. However, because it's a book, it's covered by copyright licensing restrictions, and so at this point we can kick in the settings for that digitization workflow, and you can see if you've already worked with the digitization workflow, you'll be familiar with this already. Essentially, we are replicating that form, and what we can do is we can submit that. So basically we're saying, yes, I do want to use this material that is covered by copyright. Can I check whether it's cleared or not? So this is how you as a library can ensure that any material that's uploaded here is copyright compliant. Just paused while that was going through. Didn't take too much longer. Again, you can see it's showing your file upload was successful. So if I close, if I now refresh the screen, you'll see that there is a View Online button there, and that I can now go into the PDF that was uploaded. But we've still got the cover sheet that is there, and then the material, and this is what I happen to upload here. Just to sort of reassure you that that is copyright compliant, if we go to the digitization area attached to this, you can see what happened here. This is the request I made. We ran all the normal checks, and in this particular case, yes, it's met all of the limits. There's nothing wrong with this request. It is fully copyright compliant, and so it's gone straight to live. If they had requested something that didn't necessarily meet everything, and so it was referred for any reason, then that would be visible to the lecturer on the list, and you would have to process that as normal before the scan goes live. So yeah, we've uploaded a PDF, we've uploaded a book chapter just to show you as well. You can upload other files, so this is a JPEG. Obviously there is no text to highlight here, but you can drop pins against items on the list. And again, leave your comments. So you might want to use this for images, or you can use it for sound files as well. So this is a podcast that I've uploaded, and what happens is when you are playing the podcast, you pause it at the point where you want to leave a comment. There's a pencil icon down here, and you can leave comments like this. So at its heart, that's what Engage is. As we've said, there are copyright workflows built in, just to show you the settings area where you can manage this. You do have control over what people are uploading. So once you've switched it on with this setting up here, you can decide for your books and journals whether or not you want them to go through a copyright check. So there are settings there relating to what identifiers they have that we can use to do a check. You also have the ability to switch on or off upload for items that aren't necessarily covered by copyright reporting. So basically anything that isn't a book or a journal article. You can also monitor what your lecturers are doing by going to the reports menu. We go to all list items, and there is a new filter which has recently been added here, and that is file uploaded. So all we would need to do is set that to yes, and this will give me a list of all of the list items where a file has been uploaded. It will give me a link to them, it will show me when they were uploaded, it will show me who uploaded them. So yeah, you could use that to make sure that people aren't uploading things they shouldn't be, and of course you can combine it with all the usual filters to drill down to the content you're interested in. Hopefully that helps, but yeah, any problems, do raise a ticket and we will attempt to answer them for you.